Hi, John with Stanley Engineered Fastening, and in this video I'll be showing you how to clean and re-grease the ball screw on the PB2500N battery tool. To begin, I recommend mounting the casting into the vise and not the actual mast housing. This may cause damage to the mast housing. To remove the mast housing, it is a left-handed thread. And once that is off, you can now take out your pulling head assembly, along with your thrust bearing components. At this point, you want to remove any excess debris that is located in the tool, and I usually do that by using a Q-tip and removing any particles that I find. I'll take my microfiber cloth and remove any excess and dirty grease. Before placing the thrust bearing components back into the tool, I'll take some NeoBolt SHC 100 and apply a light coating. Once a light coating is applied, I'll reinstall the thrust bearing components. Now when working with the pulling head assembly, there may be a lot of metal shavings or debris, sand, dirt. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the ball bearing is spinning freely. Once you confirm it's spinning freely, you want to get as much of the debris off as possible. So any old grease, any metal chips. If the ball bearing doesn't spin freely and there is, say, some sand in there, that is okay, just as long as it doesn't require much pressure to turn the ball bearing. If it does require more than average pressure, a new pulling head assembly will be needed. And when cleaning this component, you never want to use any penetrating lubricant, so no WD-40, no brake cleaner. That will wear down the grease. You want to just use, again, a clean microfiber cloth and reapply some new NeoBolt SHC 100 grease to the needle bearing. And then you want to work that grease back into the bearing. Okay, so once it is re-greased and cleaned, you want to take your pulling head assembly and now you can reinstall it into the front of the tool. I usually bring the bearing about 3/4 of the way up from the bottom of the tail portion of the pulling head assembly, and that just helps with the reassembly process. If the bearing is on the bottom, no issues with reassembly. The only thing you'll notice is that when installing the mast housing back onto the front of the tool, the front clutch will actually engage. So that's why I typically bring the bearing to the 3/4 of the top, and then place pulling head assembly into the front of the tool. And I want to make sure that my thrust bearings are all aligned. There's 2 keys on either side, and that my rear clutch interfaces and does not interfere with any other components. Once this is in this position, I take my mast housing and I line up my clutch alignment features onto the mast housing slots. And again, this is a reverse thread. Once the mast housing is fully attached to the front of the tool, a torque is required to set this mast housing in place, and it should be torqued to 25 Newton meters. Once the torque is applied, you should cycle the tool a few times to make sure that the pulling head assembly returns fully home and retracts fully.